What's up, guys? Zach here with another product update. If you've noticed, we just barely pushed out some really cool things we're excited about. Before I get into them, please make sure you go in and download the latest version of the app. If you've had any issues with anything, they're likely resolved in that new version. So, and right now it's 2.0, or it was 2.07. So if you go to settings in your app, more, and then settings. You'll see what version you're on. If you're still on 2.07, upgrade to 2.08, and you'll like it a lot. Anyways, moving into some of these updates, let me share my screen. So a lot of what just barely happened is around your admin panel. So this is mostly for admins. Come in, and first thing I want to show you is the team. So there's a lot of updates here in team settings that you're going to notice. And one of them that we're really excited about that's huge is the forms. So Sisu is about putting all your data in one convenient location. And what we noticed is a lot of teams, when an agent, let's say for example, an agent puts a listing under contract, they're filling out a form, they're having a duplicate entry on all of these data points that are either already in their CRM or already in Sisu. They're sending it in like a Google form or a Jot form or whatever they're using. It goes to the TC, and then the TC uses it to build the file and take it through. Well, all that data that the agent is entering into a Google form that's just being wasted and just lost in some email thread, what they should do is enter it into Sisu, and then it'll just stay in Sisu. It can alert the TC as soon as that happens, and then you're keeping all the data in this database for your reporting. So that's the idea behind these forms, is capturing that data and eliminating a step in that process, and eliminating duplicate data entry, which is what we are all about. So you'll notice you can come in here, name your own form, give it a description. One example is maybe like your listing goes under contract form, and you're telling your agents, okay, use this form whenever a listing goes under contract. To edit these forms, come into the client transaction fields. This is where historically you've been able to edit whatever shows up in the transaction section, right? So if I'm on transaction form, I'm still editing right here. I'm editing all of the things I want to be tracking just on that like default form. But I can come down and find that one that I just created. Listing goes under contract, right? And then I can pull over any of these other fields that I want my agents filling out whenever a listing goes under contract. I'm basically going to recreate those processes that I had in a Google form, or even worse, maybe it was like a paper form. I'm going to put it in here so that the agent can just fill it all out, and it's all being captured in Sisu. So, create as many of those forms as you want. When an agent does this, they'll be able to go into My Transactions, and when they need to fill out that form, they'll find the buyer or seller that they're working with, or create it if it hasn't been created. They can sort here, they can search if they need to, but then they'll pull that up, and they'll have a nice little panel over here of all the forms that they have to work with. And if we go to that, listing goes under contract, or listing contract to close form, it'll just automatically pull up all those fields that they need to be able to track. And from there, it's going to be really easy for them to just go through, bang it out. And then the next thing, this is the next big update, is it's going to shoot a notification. You might want to set it up this way, where it will shoot a notification to your TC or to the whole team. Whatever these notification events that you want are, you can set them up, and that's another new feature. Let me show you where you do that. Go into admin notifications. So in admin notifications, you can go through and you can select these events. So what a lot of teams are doing, and maybe some of you are this way, is like, it's about creating momentum. It's about creating a really cool culture. And part of that is, if something good happens, you want to celebrate it, right? So listing closes, you want everyone to hear about it. So we've seen teams where listing closes and they're supposed to go in and post about it on their Slack channel. Well, this will automatically do it for you. It closes, it gets marked as closed, so the closing date hits in Sisu, and it's just going to alert. It's going to send a push notification to everybody. It can send emails, however you want to alert them. We could even like Zapier it into your Slack channel if you wanted. But creating that momentum where like every time something good happens, everyone's seeing it, they're acting on it, and everybody is in the loop. The TC sees, okay, this went under contract. The agent filled out the form. here's what I have to do now. And I got a notification that tells me that so that I'm prepared for it, right? So we could say, let's say transaction under contract, right? So this is an event. Every time a transaction is marked as under contract. So agent goes in, they, instead of filling out their Google form, they're filling out a CSU form. As soon as they hit submit, this is going to send a notification. So we're going to call it notification when transaction goes UC, right? And then this title is the actual notification, what everybody's going to see on their phone. So you maybe say, congrats, new client under contract. Say, let's keep this thing going. Trigger type, pretty simple. It's just, do you want it to go immediately? Do you want one at the end of every day? Do you want it weekly? Do you want it monthly? So most of these will probably be immediate. You can select the time zone. The delivery time window start. Maybe you don't want notifications at night for your crazy agents that are in there putting clients under contract at 2 in the morning. So you can set it to say, all right, I want them to start at 8 a.m. and I want it to end at 20 hours. And that's going to set up that window so that when it'll only deliver during that window. So we're going to add this event. Now you'll notice down below, these are all the events that I've created. So I've created all these events. This is how I want my team to be notified when certain things happen in the system. Now, to determine who gets these events is really simple. So you create the event and then you determine who's going to get it. So I come into agent settings and I'm going to say, here you have all the notifications that your team is getting. And you could say, okay, I want team administrators to receive this transaction under contract notification. I want it to be a push message and I want it to be an email, and then you just add it. And that's going to create that event. It's going to create the notification, and there you go. You have it automated. Whenever something or whatever that event is, when that happens, it's going to go to all the admins in your platform, or you could select one agent, or you could select the whole team, however you want to set it up. So that's something that we're really excited about, and I think it's going to create a lot of operational efficiencies for you guys on your team. A couple other things. What else was new? You'll notice if you come into your dashboards now, we have these decimal goal values. And this was because a lot of teams, they know that you can't, obviously you can't close like half a transaction, but maybe your goal is 1.5 a month so that you end up at 18 on the year or whatever you're shooting for. So those decimal goal values are now allowed. Some decimals on the conversion ratio so that you can see into those a little bit more. And some Zapier updates as well. So we're actually able with a lot of our clients to pull in. We'll create a custom activity here, and then we could do a Zapier trigger when something happens in one of your other systems to automatically track it. So this is limited based on what your CRM or what your email marketing platform can do. But if they have a Zapier trigger for it, we can log it automatically as an activity in Sisu, and you'll get metrics into that and visibility into that without even having to track, without even having your agents to go in and track it. So those are some of the updates. We're really excited about it. Keep building this thing out, eliminate duplicate data entry. That's our mission, and automate processes for you guys. So thanks for tuning in. Please reach out to the team, post in our Facebook group if you need anything. We're here to help. Thanks.